Hello everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Things You May Have Missed in Genshin Impact. Now before we start, I just want to apologize that this took a while longer than I expected. I was surprised at the amount of lore you can find about Dragonspine. Also, I just want to say a huge thanks for those who support our videos and much love from us. If you haven't seen the previous two ones about Mondstadt and Liyue, feel free to check it out. The links for them can be found in the description below. Another thing is that I want to say a huge credit to the Reddit user Dagashi, as he or she compiled a lot of information from weapons, items, and voice lines. I got most of the things from his work and it was actually compiled well. If you want to read the post, I will post it down below. Alright, with that out of the way, let's begin with Thing You May Have Missed in Dragonspine number 1. Celestia was once located above Dragonspine. It is actually one of the interesting things that I saw while finding for things about Dragonspine. The story this mountain is placed upon is just incredibly expansive with many centuries of history behind it. However, it can be quite easy to follow and gives you connections to the other locations found in Teyvat. So, in an unknown time, maybe 2,700 years ago, much older than the Archon War, Dragonspine used to be the home of a kingdom called Vindagnyr. Familiar, right? That is because that is the name of the domain in Dragonspine. So back on topic, a kingdom once existed here in this mountain and they would assign a chief priest that would serve as their ruler. This chief priest would be the one to talk to the envoys of heaven. As shown in the text, this heaven is actually Celestia and it used to be located above Dragonspine. For more proof, after unfreezing the 3 thaws of ice, the Skyfrost nail soared into the sky and docked into an empty position. If you also observe the design of the Skyfrost nail, it allows you to see that it is a portion of Celestia itself. The question, why does it stay afloat, stay there into empty air? It is because that is where Celestia used to be. Their design also have a lot in common from the place you can see in the menu screen. So now before you ask, why is Celestia now located far away? I shall first tell you about the origins of the kingdom. Before Vindagnyr formed into a kingdom, the world was in a cold state, like an ice age where snow was covering all of Teyvat. This is indicated when we read the description of the artifact Prayers to Springtime. Springtime is the preface and it is the only one that uses 2 instead of 4 in the game. Finally, when the ice melted away, this was the beginning of the kingdom of Vindagnyr. We fast forward to hundreds of years later, where their technology would be so advanced that they can create ruin guards and ruin graders and the kingdom would enter into a golden age. However, the people of Vindagnyr worried about the state of their golden age and wanted to know the answer about their future. Their chief priest would then ask the same question to Celestia. Unfortunately, Celestia is still silent about this and does not tell the chief priest anything. Because of this, Vindagnyr prepared to take Celestia by force. This pissed off Celestia because people would actually dare to try taking the heavens for themselves. Now during the chaos, Celestia dropped the Skyfrost nail, and it was the cause of why the mountain is always experiencing winter. After these events, Celestia moved further away, never returning to Dragonspine. Now, if any of you guys found this confusing, leave a comment down below and maybe I could try to answer any questions that you have. So now let's move on to Thing You May Have Missed in Dragonspine number 2. The identity of the priest in Dragonspine. If you head on to the top of the Starglow Cavern, you can find a stone door. To unlock it, you would need 3 boxes, one for a priest, a princess, and a scribe. Remember that the kingdom of Vindagnyr would assign a priest? They have been doing this for hundreds of years. Each priest that was assigned served as their ruler and as someone that can answer their question about their future. Apparently, the last priest's name that was assigned before Vindagnyr fell is Varu. You can find his name mentioned on one of the ancient carvings, and when you read the description for the priest box, you will see that he tried to ascend the mountain again and seek for guidance. This happened after when the people of Vindagnyr tried to take Celestia. It seemed that the priest, Varuk, wanted to go to the top of the mountain and apologize to Celestia. However, He did not know that Celestia already went far away. For unknown reasons, the priest died. Another interesting thing about the priest is that he is the father of the princess, and if you both compare the two descriptions for each of their boxes, they mention of a painting of flowing snow and ice. This is the third fresco the princess was supposed to finish. However, the princess could not finish this as she no longer remembers them. And that's all I have for the second detail. Now let's move on to thing you may have missed in Dragonspine number 3. The owner of the snow-tombed star silver. If you read one of the 8 ancient carvings, there's a mention of an ice-breaking outlander. The name is shown to be incomplete, but it can be concluded as Moonlocker. This name is actually mentioned in the description of the sacrificial greatsword. So how does this connect with the snow-tombed star silver? Now, a Moonlocker came from an unknown land, which is why he is called as an outlander. He then grew a close relationship with the princess and settled in Vindagnyr. After the Skyfrost Knell fell and changed the environment of the mountain, a Moonlocker wanted to find a way to save the kingdom. The princess had crafted the snow-tombed star silver for Moonlocker, and only he has the power to cleave through ice and snow, thus why a Moonlocker is called the Ice-Breaking Outlander. As Moonlocker left, the princess dedicated her 4th fresco for him. When Moonlocker returned from his mission, he found that everybody had already died. The 4th fresco the princess dedicated for him had already been finished, meaning the princess has already been waiting for him for a long time. He realized that he returned too late. In this description, it is said that when Moonlocker returned, the paths on Vindagnyr were unrecognizable to him due to how the situation had worsened while he was gone. He then said a line where it struck me. So even here, there is nothing for me to protect. This implies that his old and new home was destroyed and he failed to protect both of them. So anyway, it is a tragic story and I hope we get to know more about where Moonlocker went in the future. What we do know is that his descendants formed a clan known as Moonlocker Clan in Mondstadt and was already around before the end of the Archon War. Okay, moving on to thing you may have missed number 4. The Princess of Vindagnyr dreamt of Durin. Okay, we still have no complete info on the princess in Dragonspine. What we know is that she was into Moonlocker, she loved to paint frescoes, and was the daughter of Varuk, the last chief priest. She also died from the cold and had a prophetic dream. This dream of the princess was about Durin, a black dragon that was named as an omen of doom. This black dragon would then be the cause of the death of their kingdom. However, she did not know that Durin would come much later in time. Durin's arrival was about 500 years ago when we arrived in Teyvat, meaning the princess had dreamt of Durin 2,600 years ago of when we arrived. Tricky, right? The irony of this is that Durin would be the cause of their fall, but when Durin was killed by Barbatos in Dvalin, Durin fell onto Dragonspine. The ribcage that you can see there are actually Durin's. Also, the glowing heart found underneath the mountain, it is said that Durin was so huge, much bigger than Dvalin. Now the question is, how did Dvalin beat Durin? The answer is that Barbatos must have been the one to deal more damage to Durin, and that Dvalin was only the one that dealt the final blow, hence why he was corrupted by Durin's blood. Now, if you haven't yet noticed, offering crimson agates to the frost-bearing tree would cause it to grow much taller. Now, during the golden age of Vindagnyr, the tree was much taller than what it looks like now in-game. The frost-bearing tree used to be taller than the peak of the mountain, but when the Skyfrost Nail fell, the tree withered and had died. The princess, the people of Vindagnyr, and Moonlocker eventually tried to revive the tree, but they failed. However, when Durin was killed 500 years ago, his corrupted blood had spread across the mountain. Durin's blood would also cause the tree to be revived. Thus, the tree is now corrupted, as you can see in its current form, and has become the frost-bearing tree. And so, I think that's all I have for number 5. If any of you guys know more, don't hesitate to share it down in the comments below. For the next thing you may have missed is that the one who made Albedo is also the one who made Durin. Okay, Durin was a result of Rhinodotir's alchemical experimentation. For those who are unfamiliar with Rhinodotir, she's an alchemist and taught everything she knew to Albedo. She's also a friend of Alice and came from Kynria. She gave Albedo his final task, which is to discover the meaning of the world. So back on topic, the epilogue of the event at Dragonspine, Albedo mentions Rhinodotir. Albedo asks whether Rhinodotir created Durin. This confirms the fact that Rhinodotir created Durin. We can also find descriptions on the Festering Desire and Dragonspine Spear of how Durin calls his creator Mother. Alright, let's move on to thing you may have missed in Dragonspine number 7. Whenever Albedo does his elemental burst, he shakes his shoulders. This is because he feels pain from this. The reason is still unclear, but maybe if you guys know more, let us know down in the comments below. Now let me give you a couple of bonus details that you may have missed. For bonus number 1, if you hit the trees in Dragonspine, the snow falls off. This is actually a fun detail that has been added and feels more realistic as snow really does fall off on trees. For the next bonus detail you may have missed, Dragonspine was based off on Matterhorn, a mountain of the Alps. It has a large pointed and pyramidal peak and also stands out among the Alps. This was also mentioned in their video Snow-Covered Path. Okay, with that, I think we're done. Those are the 7 things you may have missed in Dragonspine. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, consider giving it a like and also make sure to let me know if you missed any of these things or perhaps if you have anything else that I haven't mentioned here. If you want to know more about the lore in Dragonspine, check out this video from the Laughing Man. He also makes lore videos about certain characters such as Ningguang, Child, and Zhongli. I will put the link of his video in the description. Finally, thank you very much for watching, and until the next one, be safe and stay tuned.